Hey everybody. I haven't made a video in a long time, so I thought I'd come on today and come on and kind of give an update on where I'm at in my recovery. and so um Most of you know I lost everything on the right side, which was my predominant side. And so now I'm to the point in my recovery. I'm a little over 2.5 years out. Um, and I still have a little gait, not an imbalance, but it's just my gait's off just a little bit. I'm getting more movement in my right hand. Which has been the most frustrating thing of this recovery, is you're so used to using your right hand, your dominant hand, and it won't work. It won't do the things that you want it to do. It's still that way to a point. I am able to move my fingers. You'll see that as I do it, my fingers will become real spastic and they start jumping. And that is tetany. And it is very frustrating. I also have it in my leg. Um, but I think that's one of the lingering effects of this stroke that I may not ever get rid of. But I am learning to deal with it a little better and kind of come up with some workarounds. Um, I am starting to type. I can type on a really good day. I can type like 21 words a minute, but an average is about 13 to 15 words a minute. I'm writing. It's not the prettiest, but at least it is writing, which is better than what it was. And My thinking has gotten a lot clearer. My speech, I still have certain little things that I notice about my speech that isn't like what it used to be, but it's much better than what it was. And so, I'm able to go to the gym. This morning I went to the gym. I did 2 miles on the treadmill. I did a mile on the elliptical. I did a few weights. I have some type of, I went to the doctor yesterday. I have what I thought was an impingement, but she thinks it may not be an impingement. So I still have some pain in my shoulder, um, but it has gotten much, much, much better. Um, I like to come on and kind of give updates, and tell people what this process of recovery is like. It's been very difficult. It's been very frustrating, to go from someone that is completely independent and self-sufficient and, you know, not having to really depend on anybody, to have this major catastrophic event happen in your life, and then you are forced to become dependent and rely on people, and you need people. And I'm very fortunate that I have had a wonderful community. My partner, my sisters, just friends who have, really been there to support me and give me encouragement, and um, it's been great. Um, I'm not 100%, but I may not ever be, 100%, but I'm going to get as close as I can. Um, and it's really uplifting for me to kind of go outside myself. What I mean by that is, I've started to volunteer at this organization called Bond. It's the Brain Injury of North Dallas, and it's also the Brain Injury Network. And they have, given me so many things, after my stroke, and I'm not able to work, and so I was very isolated and depressed, and I would have those bad days to where I didn't want to live like this, and I'm broken, and um, but I found this organization, and they have given me so much in that they give me things to do, things to focus on. They give me a purpose, um, such as, you know, calling people for donations because it's a nonprofit organization, um, creating wellness events. One of the programs that they have, it's a national program, and it's for people who have brain injuries. And you create this mask, and it's how you view your stroke. And it's so powerful to see these masks and hear the stories, and it's just really amazing to me. So I know I'm not anything special, but because there's so many people out there that have really worked hard, recovered, and are continuing to recover. And it's just amazing to be a part of an organization that um, distinctly impacts that. And they have, I don't know if I would have really started writing and typing as early as I did, and without having Bond kind of not really force me, but give me the opportunity um, to try it. And so I wanted to come on today and just really, let people know that, number one, I know there's a lot of people on my YouTube channel that have had strokes, have had some type of brain injury. And it's just really important to maintain a positive attitude and not allow your brokenness to break you. And, in our brokenness, it makes us special. And I fully believe that. And so I just want to reach out to people and let them know, hey, you know, I'm doing well. I've worked hard. I continue to work hard every day. And it's, just because I'm not able to work doesn't mean I'm not doing something, and I work really hard at it. And I just encourage other stroke victims or brain injury victims. Um, you know, when I was a year out, my neurologist kind of said, "Oh, well, this is all you're going to get. You're not going to get any better." And at that time, I was wearing what they call the AFO. It's a brace for your foot because you have foot drop, which it's where your toe does not normally move up to take a step. You don't go from your heel to your toe. Your toe is down, so it kind of it's kind of like walking like a Clydesdale. Um, so what it has done, so I was in that. I was having to use a cane at times, and she basically told me that that was all I was going to get, and that's kind of it. There have been so many improvements since then. And I hate it when people in the medical profession will tell you that this is all you're going to get, when the power of the mind is amazing. We have the ability. I fully think I willed a lot of my improvements, and working hard at tasks that I get frustrated with. Like right now, it's the writing and the typing. That's my nemesis right now. But I continue every day to try to work on that to get better. No, if we believe everything that someone says about us, then that's a really bad place to be, And so you have to constantly tell yourself, I'm going to get better. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to do this. Set goals for yourself. And even if you don't reach those goals, yeah, it's frustrating, but you have to keep going. Every little thing that gets better is a win. Me being able to touch each finger, even though it's hard, that's a win. That's a win. And so don't let people take that away from you. And doctors, although I have a great respect for doctors, I just hate it when I hear brain injury victims or survivors, I should say, survivors, that they're not going to get any better because, I think that's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy if you accept that. I refuse to accept that. I'm not going to feel like I'm less than, I'm going to work hard and try to get better and try to prove them wrong. And even though it's frustrating and it's hard, it's something that I feel like I have to do. Like coming on and making these videos. I'm sorry, excuse me. Coming on and making these videos. People say, well, how do you feel so comfortable going and doing those videos when your speech is not 100%, or the way you move or whatever. Somebody's always going to have something negative to say. I don't care. I'm here, I'm breathing. I woke up on this side of the dirt, so I'm doing good. And I just encourage people that don't always settle for what people say. Always strive to be better, always strive to work harder. When they say, I remember when I just had my stroke and I was in the hospital, and they would give me an exercise and say, give me 10. Excuse me. And I would give them 15 because you just had to push just that little bit harder. It's exhausting. I'm constantly amazed at the level of fatigue that goes along with a brain injury. And it's like a fatigue that I've never experienced. I've worked long hours, I've worked 24-hour shifts before, and I've been extremely fatigued, going through hurricanes, and crap. I understand fatigue, but the fatigue you suffer from a brain injury is very, very different. But I have developed ways to combat that. I may have to lay down for 30 minutes, not sleep, but just lay down and rest. And it seems to appease that level. It gets that level of fatigue to where I can deal with it and I can still function. One of the things, some of the things that happen whenever I suffer from fatigue, the first thing is my speech will get much worse, way much worse. My gait will get more unsteady, and I tend to have more of a foot drop. So, and also I'm more off balanced. So when I realize these things, I know that it's time for me to stop and do what I need to do to take care of me. And, like I said, it may be 15, 30 minutes just laying down. It may be taking a 2-hour nap. It may be whatever to deal with that fatigue. But the fatigue seems to be one of the most predominant effects of this stroke. And that's one thing that I constantly have to battle. I constantly have to be aware of where I'm at as far as the fatigue, because with the fatigue comes the increased risk of injury. whether it be falls, whether it be, dropping something and getting cut, or, whatever. And so I have to realize that whenever my fatigue gets at a certain level, it is time for me to stop. It is time for me to reset myself, and it's okay. I used to have to go and take my naps, and I used to have to tell myself every day in my head, it's okay if I take a nap. It's okay. And I don't know why that was, but that was the thing that I had to do in order for me to be able to start that rest and start to deal with the fatigue and start to get better. And see, my hands shakes. That's called tetany, and it has to deal with my spasticity. And I had this in my fingers and in my leg. Um, and that's one of the things that will happen is when I'm fatigued, is I will have more of that, what I call spasticity or tetanus. And so and it just comes and goes. I have no control over it. You can't stop it. It just happens. I think, whenever I am nervous, it will kind of spaz a little bit too. But the main thing that I want people to hear is when a physician tells you after a brain injury, you're not going to get any better. Don't put too much stock into that, because if you do, you're not going to work as hard to get better. And every day that you get up and you commit to yourself that you're going to do everything you can to get better and get stronger and return to your previous level of functioning, then it gives you something to work for. If you sit back and say, "Hey, this is it. I'm not going to get any better." Guess what? You're not going to get any better. And I've been very fortunate throughout my recovery to be surrounded by people who are encouraging, who acknowledge the hard work, and it really will build me up to hear what other people say. Um, and I think I've shared this on my YouTube channel before, is that, me and my partner, who has been amazing through this whole process, um, I asked him, I said, what was the hardest thing for you to deal with? As a caregiver, what was the hardest thing for you to deal with? And he responded by saying that, the hardest thing was to allow you to fail and to step back and let you fail. And, you know, I know that may sound kind of cruel, but it was the best thing for me because number one, it made me work harder to accomplish whatever it was that I was trying. Two, I felt so much better about myself when I did accomplish it. And three, it helped me become more adaptable. Um, with this stroke, some things you have to have workarounds, such as with my typing. Since I have the most difficulty with this finger, my little finger, I cannot get it to reach the keys that I need. So I've had to compensate by, instead of using that for to hit a P, I have to go to the O and move over a little bit and hit the P in order to type and type correctly. That is one of those workarounds that I've had to do. Um, and, those kinds of things by, allowing him, my partner, to allow me to fail only made me stronger. The only thing that I encourage people in that is don't do anything unsafe. If there's a danger of you getting injured, it's not worth it. ask for help. Um, I am hard-headed. I am my dad's son. I'm hard-headed. I try to never ask for help, and even though I should, um, but it made me stronger, and it made me more motivated to fight harder, to get better, to return to my previous level of functioning. And I encourage you, if you're struggling, reach out to me. I wanted this platform to be more interactive, um, and it has not been. So I think that's kind of why I haven't made videos, to is because there's such a need for people to be able to talk about their stroke, how it affected them, where they're at, how they feel. There's days that I'll wake up that I just want to cry, but I deal with it, and cry, get it out, and then move on. We got things to do. We're not going to sit here and sit in this pity party. It's time to get up and do something, accomplish one thing. I always try to accomplish one thing a day. And so, reach out to me, whether it be here in the comments, whether it be on Facebook, wherever. I really encourage everybody to really focus on your recovery. If you're recovering from a brain injury, find out what your weaknesses are and where you have the problems, and start there. And that's how I started to get better. And one of the things that I've noticed is you regain the gross motor, moving your arms and straightening your arms. Then it moves down to fine motor skills, which is moving the fingers and being able to do those things that's important to me, like writing and typing. And so it goes in that fashion. It may start with a little twinge of the finger. Keep working it. Just keep trying to open and close your hand, keep working your wrists, and focus on those movements that weren't there before. Expound upon the small movements, and eventually they'll become big movements. And eventually, hopefully, one day you'll be back to close to where you were. That's what I'm hoping for. And I just, wanted to come on today and tell everybody, don't give up, keep fighting. I know it's frustrating and it's hard, but you can do it. And know that you're not alone. There's other people that really understand where you're at and how you feel. And if you need anything, reach out to me. I'm here for anybody. I would love to hear from other people, actually, and hear your story, and see what works for you, because what works for me may not work for you. What works for you may not work for me. But I just look at it as you never can get enough education, and that's education. And I just want to, thank all of my supporters who have been there from day one, who constantly pushed me and encouraged me and loved me despite my brokenness. And just remember, your brokenness makes you special. So I hope you all have a great day. Just know that you're loved, and I hope you feel like you're loved and you're blessed. I know I do. And I thank you for supporting me and being a part of this platform. And I hope to help somebody in their struggles. So, I hope y'all have a great day.